I'm still waiting for paint to dry on this thing. So I guess all I'm going to do tonight is I'll hit this thing up and let's get the motor ready to pull. See how much I can do. I don't know how far I'll get right now. I'm kind of on the fence here with the... I think I just want to clean up the shop. All the dust everywhere. It's like forever when you're doing this stuff. I don't know why, because I'm going to have to do it again anywho. But anyways, I'm going to pull... Well, I'll probably separate. I'll leave the transmission in. There's no need for it. But I do got to get the rad out and disconnect the exhaust. And we're going to do a quick and dirty motor pull right now. A quick time lapse yanking the motor. And then we'll get it on the stand, and then I can go look at that later this week. Well, that wasn't too much trouble. I'm going to try to compress that as fast as I can because it's just a motor pull. But I don't know, I guess it took a little over an hour. Wasn't too bad. I decided to pull the transmission out because, well, it's always leaking and I'm not sure where it is. So I figure I'll pull it out, go through it, see whatever seals I got to replace, or just replace all the basic seals around it. So I don't think it's the oil pan. I actually think it's the pickup tube, but we'll put new seals in it. Call it done, slam it back in. I have a different stall, a little milder one that I'm going to throw in there. So anyways, there's our 327. Because I know most of these accessories and all this junk works with the motor, I'm just going to leave it with other motor. I know I have quite a bit of room in this one. Can't remember. Not too worried till I get to that point, but we'll probably throw this one in there. Not sure if we're going to change the color of it or do anything like that. Maybe I will. Once I decide my color choice. I'm thinking I'm going to do, my green is going to actually be a little different. Because it's not quite minty enough. I want to try to find a good mint green. So we'll find something I can find. We'll find something that I'll be able to touch up very easily and not have to sweat it. So I don't think I'll go shiny, but whatever. We'll figure it out when we get there. Anyways, as far as I think I'm going to get tonight. Right? Is this as far as we're getting tonight, buddy? Have you had enough? Should we go in the house? You very energetic feller there. What say you? Time to go in? Time to go in? All right. Go get your buddy. Let's go. All right, till tomorrow. Well, yesterday we got that all done. I don't remember what I was talking about. So anyways, that's there. Motor's there. I think I'm going to put this motor into the chassis right now. The old motor. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to get this up. I think what I want to do is maybe start building the headers. Figure out what I'm doing for the exhaust. Like I say, I think I showed it. I bought one of these Speedway kits. Not 100% how I feel about it, but I'm going to probably try to use it regardless. It's got some of the bits that I want. I might... Well, we'll do a rough mock-up. I'll see how I like it. We might do something different. I don't know yet. But regardless, we got to make something on there. I sort of wouldn't mind an actual exhaust. So I don't know if I want to do what I was thinking, but I'll explain that in a bit once we get things all placed back and kind of shipped back into place here. We'll see if that's going to work out and be feasible or not. Anyways, let's get the motor in here and cab back on it, and then we can see where we're going to get. All right, well, we are back at her, kind of one color, not too shabby, well, sort of one color. So, if you're new, you haven't seen the power plant, this is the idea, the plan, what I want to do, which is just, I guess like an old school tunnel ram. I picked these up on eBay because I wanted some old school kind of look, so we're going with that. So, I basically was just mocking stuff up, checking clearances, that's good. Now I'm going to kind of lift this up on the hoist just to make my life easy. And I want to see roughly what the exhaust will look like. Part of me wants to run two of these. See, these are the old horn style. But part of me wants to actually run a full exhaust. Like I'd like to have these that I could decap. And then if I do what I was thinking of doing with two of them, because if you ran the one, it would be kind of cool, and then I'd be able to hook it back underneath the truck and then run like a full exhaust. So that's one thing that would be kind of cool. And then part of me would love to just have two of these on each side, but then I'm kind of hooped in just running that style of an exhaust. So I'm not sure. These are kind of shiny and I don't want to wreck them, so I'm going to throw them back, and I'll fiddle with this here, just try something really quick and see what we get. Kind of mixed on it. Like just with the opening that we got and what's happening. 2 of them would be kind of cool. I only have the 2 and they seem to be out of stock everywhere. Thus meaning I'd have to make a set. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll give it a try. But we got to do some clearancing issues here because that's why I'm kind of test fitting everything because it's prime, but I realized when I was priming I forgot to weld this part. So it's going to do that. Once I get it all grubby with my fingers. And then up here my exhaust doesn't work. We got to clearance this thing some more. So we'll kind of do that and make everything work here. Kind of clearance it anyways. And then we'll start on the exhaust. I think I've been staring at this for about an hour and I just cannot come up with something that looks nice. There's a lot of motor and a lot of dead space, and for me to run this little thing in here just doesn't cut it. So what I'd like to do, well, let me put a tripod up and I'll kind of explain this a little better here. All right, well, in a perfect world, I think what I'd like to get is like this kind of a look. I think that'd be pretty cool. It'd be a little staggered, but I would probably run opposites over and back. I'm not sure what I want to do, whether it's going to go here or kind of like yay, but I think it'll fill the space nice. It won't look so empty versus if you do just the one. If you do 2, it at least will fill up this whole space in this area in my eyes. Screws me from trying to run on any kind of other exhaust, but so the dilemma that puts me in is I would either have to buy another header kit, which I really don't want to do. I wish I was like you folks in the States where the stuff was actually, in my eyes, pretty cheap. I bought this kit. I think it was a sale at the time, about $199 US. By the time you convert that, I think that's like $220, $230. Speedway wants another $100, $140 to ship it to Canada. So I'm like, that's a lot of dough. By the time I get it here, it's usually almost double the price of what the headers are. Anyways, I think my plan is I can order something locally, but it would cost me almost $400 just for the kit, and I got to put it together yet. So for those. So it's a bit of a stinker. So I have most of the stuff. I don't need to redouble buy everything. The kits comes with those. It comes with these pipes, stuff like that. So I think I have enough of this stuff to make what I want. You know, if you do the 1 and the 2, it's this one's got to cross over. At least that's my plan. Kind of weird. Anyways, long story short, I have a bunch of random headers. These are just 1 5/8 pipe tube. So I'm pretty sure I had some headers because these look like they're of the same diameter. So I can kind of scab everything together. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap them when it's said and done. But yeah, so these are the same. So I have a whole bunch of this stuff. I think it's pretty close. Oh yeah. We can make this work. My only dilemma is I only have 2 of these. So this is roughly 14 gauge. I have done this in the past. It has been an enormous amount of suck, but I'm willing to give it a go. So my plan is I have enough metal that I could wrap that. We'll see. I think I'm just going to heat the whole dang thing and wrap it around, and then I can compress it to make this, weld it up the seam, and basically we're going to build ourselves one of these things. I'll say it's on the cheap, provided I don't use a whole lot of gas. Anyways, that's enough explaining. Let's try to build a set of those. If I can build 2 of those, this is a completely feasible plan. And then I think we'll have a kind of a cool different exhaust. Anyways, let's get started. First step of this is going to be, well, I'm going to clean this up, and the plan is going to be, I'll grind this edge, I'll roll this up to here, I'm going to tack this to this pipe, and we'll see if it'll roll. If it doesn't, then we're just going to take the torch to it and get that plate hot, and we'll roll it around till we get an overlap. Then we can cut the excess off of this plate, and then we'll try to get a slight shape, like where we'll try to make this tube where it overlaps, and then we'll do the old cut and butt across it as we work. As you can see, there's a seam on this thing. You can't really see, but there is a seam right there. I don't know. A lot of babbling. I'm just going to do it, and you'll follow along. All right. Well, considering I forgot to turn on my camera for the lapsy part when I did this cut and butt on there. Good thing is I have another side. This thing's a little banged up and beat up, but I do plan to wrap them with header wraps, so they're pretty close. It's close enough. It's good enough. I'm happy with that. That was not bad. Kind of sucked, but it didn't. I think it only took me, I don't even think it took me an hour and a half to do that altogether, like start to finish with all the screwing around. It's got a few dings in it, but when you wrap it, you'll never see that. So that means I should get my next one, I should be able to do in about an hour. So with that said, 2.5 hours. I pretty much saved about $400, I guess we can say that. It'll be fine. I don't know why it looks so wobbly. Lessons learned. It's probably better to use the pipe to keep wrapping around. The pipe wrench actually worked pretty good for the most part. But I think we can get the next one finessed a little better. Could I remake this? Yes, but this is going to work totally fine for what I want, so So I think it's 11:15. I don't think I'm gonna make the next one. We'll use that knowledge for tomorrow. And then we'll start building some headers. How's that sound? I'll make sure I get everything lapsed properly this time around. There's really not much to explain though. Basically, I welded the pipe to said piece of steel. Like I welded the seam, like I said. I came up with the idea of welding these, like tack welding them to there and rolling it, and that was working so good. I should have trimmed the... That's what I'll do on this one. Next one I'll do, I'll trim the steel as I'm going, and then I can keep using these bars to keep rolling the piece, and I think I should have a really good piece when that's done. So if that works out and it's actually super quick, I'll save this one for a wall hanger to remind myself how to do that again. What I've done in the past, I just don't like them because it's such a big horn, is I've actually taken like a Model A axle, like this, and I've cut the top off, and then I would basically do the same thing. I'd weld it on there, roll it around. It's just, this thing's like a 4 1/4, 4.5 inch end, and it's just, I feel it's too big. On my Model A, I just took 2 torque tubes and I used those. That worked. Like, that was kind of old school. I like that. Right? Do you like that? I like that. Right? Okay. Well, what do you say? Should we clean up and then go in the house? Yes. Yes. Want to go inside? Need some help scratching? Need some help scratching? Hey? New day? New day. Kind of mocked that up last night, goofing around a little bit. Kind of digging the look. The only thing I'm not sure about is the grill looks a little thick. It might have to get sectioned, but I don't mind it hanging low. But it's just a little thick on top. Anyways, we're going to go... well, I don't know if I'm going to mock much up. I'm basically going to see if I can try to at least build this other manifold tube. We can make that work. If this one prevails and works out really well, then I'm going to redo the other tube as well. But first things first, we'll see how well I can reproduce this thing. The only difference I'm going to do from last night is I'm going to trim the metal to be the right size so I can keep welding the pipe and rolling it nicely. All right, let's give it a shot. Sort of doing a lot of failing, but not failing in this video. Forgot to turn my recorder on while I was doing the welding. But anyways, this thing turned out awesome. This is the pipe that I bought with the kit. Mind you, I haven't cleaned up the welds, so let's just... Now it's the crooked one. But dang, mint. So this other one, to me now, is junk. The one I built last night, it's okay, but I can do better. So we'll leave that one as a wall hanger or whatever. What I'm going to do is make another one of these, because man, these are just so perfectly close to the other one. So awesome. And no dents in it or anything else. This one, when I was clamping in the vise, I got a dent here and here and here, and then I tried to hammer it smooth. Like if I wrap it, it's going to be fine. And I do plan to wrap them, but because there's no way I'm going to be chroming or doing any of that jazz. That's like out of my realm. Up here, man, probably to chrome those pipes will cost as much as the truck cost me to build. Anywho, basically, I am going to do the same thing over again. because, man, that worked well. I think it took me just a little over a half hour now to do that one. So this should get much quicker yet. I don't know how much quicker I can get because this one just worked out the way it was, like it was supposed to. Anyways, I'm going to clean this up, get it ready, find another sheet because I don't think there's enough on there to make one more pipe. So again, this is like 14 gauge. So that's why I'm struggling a bit to bend it around. So when I was using the bar, that worked good. For the last bit, it was holding tight, so I'd clamped. I used the vice grip and I was just kind of holding that piece on. And then as I was flexing it on the back side, it, I don't know, it just worked really, really well. Pretty happy with that. Anywho, let's remake this again, and then I can use my other pipe as a wall hanger. I figure I'll take some time to explain this. So this is the basic fixture. The only win I got is I have this cone. Like I said, a feller could do the exact same thing but using like an axle tube or something like that. Anywho, if you look on the back side, what I did is I tacked the pipe to this heavier steel. And the more tacks you put, the less this is going to pull and do some weird stuff. I guess if a feller wanted to make a fixture, you could probably weld a pipe on here that this slid into, and then somehow make this thing, oh, you know, the ultimate setup would have been if I had a permanent one of these to make these. Ooh, maybe I'll make 3 of these and keep one of these tubes as my, I figured out how to build a jig, I think. Anyways, yeah, this is tacked. The bars are on here. You reef it over, does its thing. Golden. Man, I have a perfect idea how to build a jig to make these things. Good to know. Anyways, no biggie. So this is here. The bars are welded on. Now the idea is basically, you don't need much of a tack to hold things in place, but I kind of just do this and step on it, and it starts the curve. Now we can get this whole flip now to do whatever we need. You can see how nice the pipe is following this. So I keep reefing on it, stepping on it. It keeps following the shape. Then later I'm going to just vice grip the one side because I don't need to. When I cut this weld and I reposition it just to finish the curve. So yeah, it's pretty much that simple. I dig it. The idea for a jig, I thought, is I could make a plug for this that I can put in a big ratchet with an arm, and then I can ratchet it and just keep walking it. And then instead of welding this, I could put a piece of plate on top that goes, and then you can kind of curve past it. Yeah, got a pretty mint idea to build a jig. Anyways, let's get this one bent up and buzz together. Well, there we go. That's not too shabby. I'm really not feeling like building another one, so it is what it is. I got an idea in my head how to build a jig if I needed to do it, so. This one, the second one came out pretty good. It got a little tweaked up on top, but it'll get fixed when there's a pipe in there and all the other jazz, so. But pretty hard pressed, eh? Check that out. That's the 2 speedways, and those are the 2 I made. And then I have the third one. That looks like, it looks okay. But I spent way too much time on it by the judge of it last night. And it even looks like it's gotten tweaked this way. It looks like she's got a big schlung into it there. So, all good. Wall hanger. No worries. So we got our 4. Unfortunately, I think this took a lot longer than I thought. So I think we're going to have to wait till the next video till I actually start mocking up the exhaust, try to figure that out. Unfortunately. But anyways, I guess that's where we're going to leave it. Right, buddy? This where we're going to leave it? Yeah. So, as always, folks, I want to thank you for watching. And we'll catch you on the next one when we start actually building some headers. Later.